Alright, let me get you the scene about breakfast cereal. It really is funny.
3.
Okay, here we go. You'll love this one. I love this one. Randy takes the red box and holds it securely between his knees with the handy Stay Closed tab pointing away from him. Using both hands in unison, he carefully works his fingertips underneath the flap, trying to achieve equal pressure on each side, paying special attention to places where too much glue is laid down by the gluing machine. For a few long, tense moments, nothing at all happens. And an ignorant or impatient observer might suppose that Randy is getting nowhere. But then the entire flap pops open in an instant, as the entire glue front gives way. Randy hates it when the box top gets bent, or worst of all possible worlds, torn. The lower flap is merely tacked down with a couple of small glue spots, and Randy pulls it back to reveal a translucent, inflated sack. The halogen downlight recessed in the ceiling shines through the cloudy material of the sack to reveal gold. Everywhere, the glint of gold. Randy rotates the box 90 degrees and holds it between his knees, so its long axis is pointed at the television set, then grips the top of the sack and carefully parts its heat-sealed seam, which purrs
sound like a sex
as it
scene
gives
now.
away. Removal of the somewhat milky plastic barrier causes the individual nuggets of Captain Crunch to resolve under the halogen light with a kind of preternatural crispness and definition that makes the roof of Randy's mouth glow and throb in trepidation. On the TV, the dancing instructors have finished demonstrating the basic steps. It is almost painful to watch them doing the compulsories, because when they do, they must willfully forget everything they know about advanced ballroom dancing, and dance like persons who have suffered strokes or major brain injuries that have wiped out not only the parts of their brain responsible for fine motor skills, but also blown every panel in the aesthetic discretion module. They must, in other words, dance the way their beginning pupils like Randy dance. The gold nuggets of Cap'n Crunch pelt the bottom of the bowl with a sound like glass rods being snapped in half. Tiny fragments fall away from their corners and ricochet around on the white porcelain surface. World-class cereal eating is a dance of fine compromises. The giant heaping bowl of sodden cereal awash in milk is the mark of the novice. Ideally, one wants the bone-dry cereal nuggets and the cryogenic milk to enter the mouth with minimal contact, and for the entire reaction between them to take place in the mouth. Randy has worked out a set of mental blueprints for a special cereal-eating spoon that will have a tube running down the handle and a little pump for the milk, so that you can spoon-dry cereal up out of the bowl, hit a button with your thumb, and squirt milk into the bowl of the spoon even as you are introducing it into your mouth. The next best thing is to work in small increments, putting only a small amount of Cap'n Crunch in your bowl at a time, eating it all up before it becomes a pit of loathsome slime, which, in the case of Cap'n Crunch, takes only about 30 seconds. At this point in the videotape, he always wonders if he's inadvertently set his beer down on the fast forward button or something, because the dancers go straight from their vicious Randy parody into something that obviously qualifies as advanced dancing. Randy knows the steps they are doing are nominally the same as the basic steps demonstrated earlier, but he's damned if he can tell which is which once they go into their creative mode. There is no recognizable transition, and that is what pisses Randy off, and has always pissed him off, or for that matter, watching videotapes. Only goes so far, and then your body just has to learn the moves. By the time he has eaten a satisfactory amount of Cap'n Crunch, about a third of a 25-ounce box, and reached the bottom of his beer bottle, Randy has convinced himself that this whole dance thing is a practical joke. Blah, 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 blah. I think that's actually the last of the interesting part of the scene.